Ananta?
Yes.
Hey, so another question for you. So, just curious, in your case, does projection ever arise? Or if it does, is it just fleeting? Is it like just comes and goes and then there's nothing pursued?
What is projection in your?
Well, when you project, like anytime like we judge someone or we um yeah, I guess judgment is a good term. We're projecting something onto somebody else or
Mm.
situation that has to do with our own ego, essentially.
Well, certainly not in that way.
Yeah.
There's, I could imagine that a judgment might arise, but no one would care about it or attach any significance to it, and it wouldn't. It just wouldn't carry over in any way. You see, because everything is seen as the same. So it doesn't mean that I like everything. It doesn't mean that I want to hang out with everybody. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So there could be different resonance that goes on naturally. Naturally, you see. But I'm going to say, for all practical purposes, no. Projection doesn't arise because of the involvement that would be necessary for that to be anything. I could imagine there's some samskara, some karma that causes a particular reaction to a person or a place or a thing like that. But no one's identified with it, no one's attached to it. So it's just in the air, you see. That answer it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, have you seen that in any of your gurus? Like, but maybe they weren't even aware of that there was projection, but there
No.
comes and goes.
It's, you see, it's not how it appears. So, you see, like Nisargadatta, there were too many people coming to him. He had a small little room. It was hot and crowded in there, and he would he would have someone come by, like maybe he came by 5 days or something, and he would go, okay, so what do you understand from what I'm talking about? And if the person came back with something that really showed that they didn't understand, he would just go, where are you from? They would say, wherever. And he'd say, well, I think you should go back there because you're wasting your time here. You know, it wasn't a judgment, although, now I said it very calm, but he would say it very strong. You see, and it would sound like a judgment, but it was just the way he expressed. You see, and there were people, my Baba's astrologer, Chakrapani, he and I have talked many times. He's gone now, a couple years ago. But I told him that I was with Ramesh, who was a disciple of Nisargadatta. Nisargadatta was right down the street from Chakrapani's house. I mean, they were like neighbors. and Chakrapani said, I said, did you ever see him? He goes, oh no, I would never see him. I'm afraid he might yell at me. You see, and that was his way. His personality was to be ornery and argumentative. He liked to argue with people. That's how he taught. He taught through arguing with you. You see, that was his particular method. It was unique, but it suited his personality. You see, the personality remains. The conditioning and those things, they remain. And also, anyone can look at someone's chart, an astrologer, and go, oh, well, you have a very fiery personality. That's going to still be there. And to someone who's just observing it from the outside, they might say, well, he's very judgmental. But it's not like that, you see. It's just someone expressing their personality as it was designed, you see. So the the design continues, and it can be seen as being projecting, being judgmental. But you see, it's not like that. Even though it may appear like that, there's no one there. This is the thing. The thing is that when this sense of me is diminished, and then all there is this oneness, this unicity with everything, there is no one left. No one is there. So even though these talks are going on, and you're hearing your teacher, your guru, speak to you, the disciple, whatever definitions you have for the this and that and the discussion between you and I, there is no one here. So there's nothing going on. But this is just simply exactly as it was with my gurus. They were giving talks, and I was the devotee, the disciple, listening to them and trying to understand them, you see, but they actually weren't there, you see, but I didn't understand it because I thought I was there, so I assumed they must be there. So I assumed that their actions were driven the same way that my actions were, you see, but they're not. They're just going on automatically, spontaneously, exactly as God designed them to happen. But in fact, my gurus, that which they are is timeless. I know that because they're all here right now. They're always here. This is all one. The appearance is of individuals and of things happening and of this and that. All of that is going on. And even if it appears, now Baba could get very angry. I watched him kick someone out of the ashram once for not going to a chant. And I didn't go to that chant either. But they got kicked out. And I watched it go, and I heard it was a brrr. It was strong. It was like I would not want to be on the receiving end of that energy. But there was no one there, you see. I come to find out later that that person was messing with one of the female swamis. And that's why it went down the way it went down. But in any case, this is... you can't go by appearances with so-called enlightened beings because there's really no one there, no matter what the appearance is, unless, of course, it's someone pretending to be enlightened. Right. Which, that happens all the time, too. So you have to trust your discrimination in that regard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like... personalities still exist, as you say, kind of like the body still exists, but no one's identifying it either.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. That's it. So you can't really analyze it from your point of view because your point of view sees things as an individual sees things. And this is the thing about gurus. The highest, they all displayed behaviors that you would not think an enlightened being would be involved with. Now, Ramana, who I consider the highest of the high, you see, because he was spontaneously enlightened. Just, spontaneously it happened. He didn't go through sadhana at all. And any case, he was so particular about things not being wasted. He would go through the kitchen of the ashram and pick up mustard seeds that were spilled because he couldn't stand any wasting at all. At all. One time he was asked about marriage and he said, I don't think anyone could tolerate me because I'm too picky, you see. But that was his personality, you see. There was, even though there's no one there, the personality still carries on. The karmas, all of that still go on. No new karmas are created, but the body is a karma container, and so there's lots of karmas playing out within it, and they play out till the end. You see, the body comes with certain karmas. It's in the script. Something's going to kill it, and certain things are going to happen. I mean, Papaji. Papaji was, was a great guru, a great disciple of Ramana. He fathered a child with a 20-year-old when he was 60. It just happened. People can point to that and say, see? But I think that's true with all the gurus. There's always something to point at. There's always something you can point at. So, and like Ramesh was nothing but nice. I mean, after coming from Maharaj, you could be very harsh. Ramesh was sweet all the time and very understanding, very kind, right? So he needed to create some kind of obstacle for people. So, the tradition was, what can I bring to the guru? And Ramesh, he used to, I used to bring him bottles of whiskey because he always asked. In those days, it was just he and I anyway. So, and I didn't even know what quality whiskey was. First bottle I brought was crap. He taught me, and so I used to bring him better bottle of whiskeys each time I saw him, and so when people started coming, and they would ask, what can I bring, he would say, bring a bottle of whiskey. Now, Ramesh had a shot of whiskey every Sunday. That was it. And he had a footlocker full of whiskey bottles. And I said to him, Ramesh, don't you think, like a bottle of whiskey, aren't people going to have some ideas about what that means about you? And he goes, that's fine. If that's enough to deter them, then they shouldn't come anyway. Their concepts are too strong, you see, for what I'm about to teach them.
Nice.
So you see, there's always these obstacles and always things that are, all of the gurus have them. If you get to know him well enough. I mean, I never found out what it was with Shree, but I didn't know him personally at all. Just, as a guru. So I'm sure there was something. So there's always something. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Just, but it's not as you picture it as a person, because there's no one there. There's just no one there.
Okay. Yeah. So it's just happening.
Everything is just happening. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's difficult because of appearances, and an individual looking at things from the point of view of an individual can see whatever they want to see. Mm-hmm. The thing about it was, for me, is that I could not use anything like that to discount that sense of peace that I felt around my gurus. And that love, that unconditional love that they showered me with all of the time, nothing could discount that. That's all that was real to me, you see. And the rest, any other behavior that might seem contradictory to that, was meaningless, because I couldn't use it to discount that. And there were people that could use it to discount that, and I guess for them, that was the end of that. You see? That was the end of it. And maybe they found another teacher. Maybe they got totally disillusioned and never did. Oh well. It's just more ego, isn't it?